It is the Mad Conservative coming with another video. Ja Morant. Ja Morant, Ja Morant, Ja Morant. I'm telling you, man, this kid is really digging a hole for himself. And he, for some reason, he just don't understand it. And, it's at a point now to where there's something bad that might be in the works within the NBA. There's something bad that's in the works in the NBA for this kid, especially if he don't get him, especially if he doesn't get himself right. Because right now he's becoming a liability. Now, when I say liability, if you haven't been following the NBA, you have Ja Morant on the right. He's an NBA player, a good player at that, very talented. He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of potential, even to a point to where if he works hard enough at it, I say another 5, 10 years down the road, he could be talked about as a legend in the NBA. Now, there's a problem though. And the problem is the guy on the left of the photo, which is his father, Tee Morant. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with Tee Morant because why? Because he's in most of his son's games, sitting in the front row, supporting him, which is a good thing because why? Because a lot of NBA players don't have that. They don't have their fathers to support them like that. But he's very supportive. But in this video, I'm pretty much going to be focused on the father. And why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. And it's real simple. How can you do all that work to mentor your son, work with your son on his game, coach his son through with his game, and guide him in a path in which he was able to get drafted into the NBA out of college. And for some reason you think that because he made it to the NBA, your job as a coach, as a mentor, you believe that your job is done. And because of that, now you have your son out there doing stupid stuff that's going to hurt his career. I'm telling you, man, it's getting to a point now to where with all this stuff coming up off the surface, it's going to lead to his own destruction. The NBA is not going to want to be. They're not going to want to work with him. He's going to be a liability. And you will think that his father will be able to see that. Now, we know that Ja Morant was involved in a situation where he put his hands on, I believe it was a teenager. So they've been speaking on that. That's allegations. I don't know if it's true or not, but they've been speaking on it. We also know that recently, I mean just recent, that there's this video footage that's been out now that just came out where he's at a strip club and he's waving a gun in front of the camera. And we also know that he plays for an NBA team that now has a reputation of wanting to argue with every other goddamn player from every other team during games. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because that you have Ja Morant, who has a father who is sitting back, and instead of telling his son to get his act right, he wants to sit there and just be on a attention crave. He wants to go out there and get attention. You know, his father, he has to be seen. It's almost as if his father is living vicariously on his son. Now, there was a game that happened several weeks ago where you had Shannon Sharp. He was present to the game. Well, there was a play that was made. I believe they were playing for the Lakers, the Memphis Grizzlies. They were playing against the Lakers, and I think there was a play that was made that was pretty much questionable, and to a point to where Shannon Sharp had to go off on Dylan Brooks, which is on the Memphis. He plays for the Memphis, one of the players for the Memphis Grizzlies. And, you know, and Dylan Brooks says something back to Shannon Sharp, and next thing you know, they both get into an argument. But while they're arguing, you know, you have all these players coming off of the bench. You have these referees coming off trying to break it up and stuff like that. But while they're arguing, all of a sudden, Tee Morant comes out of nowhere and starts going back and forth with Shannon Sharp. And when I first heard about that story and I'm watching the video, I'm like, why is he out there? Why is he out there? It's not. Shannon Sharp wasn't arguing with his son. He was arguing with another player. And even if he was arguing with Ja Morant, why do you feel like you need to get out there and argue with the goddamn man? Let your son handle it. How the hell are you going to sit there and try to confront a man that's either the same age as you are or maybe older? Hell, I'm not sure. And yet he was in the NFL. He has done a lot more for the sports world, the sports industry, and then here you come want to go back and forth with him, and yet my thing is that why are you arguing back and forth with him when you can't even goddamn put your son in check? How the hell are you gonna sit there and go off on another man, but you can't even control your own goddamn son? And that's not the only problem, because the other allegation in which he allegedly put his hands on a teenager or somebody, apparently that happened based on the fact that his mother, your wife, was arguing with a security guard. Now, why the hell is your wife arguing with a security guard? Because again, I think this situation happened inside the mall. Y'all are a multi-million-dollar family. I mean, let's be real though. I mean, Ja Morant, he's the one making the money. He's the NBA player. But let's call for what it is. He has some sense. So it's not like he's just gonna take the money and ride off with it and forget about y'all. He's taking care of y'all too. He's taking care of his family too. So why are they in the mall, and instead of them going out there in the mall buying stuff or just walking around having a good time, why is she arguing with a security guard? Because if they were in the mall and she was confronting a security guard is not going to say nothing to anybody unless he thinks either two things. Either he thinks that they're being unruly inside the mall, they're not following rules in the mall, or they're stealing. Not saying that that's what they were doing, but I don't know. I know they definitely wasn't stealing. But my thing is that what was she doing to a point to where she had to get in an argument with a security guard? And it goes back to Tee Morant, and I'm asking that question to Tee Morant to answer, because again, it makes no sense that you're on the court trying to go back and forth with another man who's arguing with another player, but yet you can't control your family. You can't even control your family. They're just moving around as if they're still in the ghetto. And I don't know why I'm saying still in the ghetto, because they never were in the ghetto. So why are they living a life that they don't know about? That's stupid in itself. That's ignorant. I wasn't raised in the ghetto, but you don't see me walking around acting like I was raised in the ghetto. I'm not gonna act like that. That's stupid. Like, man, and the reason I'm saying all this is because of this. If Ja Morant keeps doing what he's doing, because right now the NBA is looking at him as a liability. If he keeps doing what he's doing, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna let him go. They're gonna let him go. They're gonna drop him from the contract, and then he's gonna try to go out. They're gonna drop him from the contract, and then he's going to have to go. He's going to have to try to go find another team to play for. And no one's going to want to pick him up, because why? Because all the shit he has going on with the Memphis Grizzlies, and because nobody's not going to want to pick him up, he's going to have to go overseas. Like I'm telling you, man, you need to go out there and you need to guide your son, because your job is not over as a father. You need to get him out of this mess. And the only way he can get out of this mess is he just going to have to just leave those types of people alone. And not only that, but you as a family, you need to get your family in check and let them understand that they are not that type of people. They never have been those type of people. You sit here, and I'm giving you props. I'm giving you props because why? Is because you as a father committed to taking care of your family, even though you had a future in basketball. Because your son was born, you took time to get off the court and take care of your family and made your family your number one priority. And because of that, you were able to get two of your children to have the potential of being great in this country. You have your sons in the NBA, and you have your daughter, I believe, that's in high school playing basketball. And from my understanding, she's good enough to where she's being a prospect of playing in college. Like, dude, you need to get your family together, and as a father, you need to take charge and tell them exactly what they need to do. And what they need to do is move into the right direction. Because right now, the way they're going, you're setting them up for failure. And the reason why you're setting them up for failure is because you're too busy standing back and you're watching it, and you're not saying anything about it. If y'all have anything to share in the comment section, feel free to share it. Please subscribe to the video, and I'll see you next time.